You cannot surround yourself with blindness and expect to see. You cannot run with packs of angry women and expect to be happy and fulfilled. You cannot hang out with a bunch of defeated, going nowhere, no vision men and be an overcomer. You are who you hang around.
Don't save that last bullet for yourself. You lock and load that last bullet and you shoot it at your enemy. And you keep fighting no matter what. And you never quit. And if you feel like your life is in a place where you can't get any lower, good. Because that means the ultimate challenge is ahead of you. It means you can only go up.
I'm telling you, it's possible to be weak. It's possible to feel overwhelmed. It's possible to feel discouraged. It's possible to be going through something that you've never gone through. And if you were to be honest, would say, I am weak this day, yet I'm still anointed king.
Program your mind, because all that you will do or not do, have or not have, accomplish or not accomplish, will be a direct derivative of what's going on inside of your mind. It's about mentality, getting the right man. I thought as a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. You will never win a battle if you're having a heart experience in a head fight. You're telling the enemy how you feel has nothing to do with what you know. And if you're going to deal with a knower, never approach a knower with feelings. You got to approach a knower with facts. Real decisions that move your life along are not coming out of your emotions, they're coming out of your head.
But I believe that if you reach a certain age, and if you really haven't achieved very much in your own terms, I don't think you can ascribe this to bad luck or a difficult childhood or any other external factor. I personally feel that your strength of character does come into question at that point. Your definition of success may be different from the next person. I'm not implying that you need to have a fat bank account or a Rolls Royce to be successful. But if having those things is integral to your definition of success, then that's what you should be aiming for.
When it feels like you've taken steps backwards, don't live life defeated. Stay in faith. You may not realize it, but you're in a good position. You're being pruned, not so you can stay there. No, you're being pruned so you can go to a new level, so you can see new growth and experience new opportunities and discover new potential.
It's time for you to dig up all those seeds of doubt, all those seeds of lies. And at this moment, replace those seeds with seeds of faith. And how you do that is just simply this. How you fight your depression is just simply this. You tell yourself, yeah, I'm going through this, but at least I'm not dead. Find a way to find appreciation. Somebody has it worse. Somebody wants your life. Somebody's praying to be in your shoes, and you're still here. So I want you to keep fighting. You find any reason to survive right now, to make it to see tomorrow.
There's greatness in you. Say it as many times as you have to. It can even start as a whisper. There's greatness in you. But keep repeating it, because the mindset works best with consistency. Even when it hurts, even when it's hard. Keep moving forward. Keep doing what you need to do. Keep believing in yourself.
God is not trying to destroy you. He's trying to develop you. And he can't develop you until he brings you through something. I'm stronger because of what I've been through. I can take a lot now because of what I've been through. My enemies can't get the best of me now because you don't know what I've been through. We let people control us. We let attitudes control us. We let substances control us. We are in bondage to stuff that we have no business being bound by.
Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, it's a chance. It's definitely a chance for you to give up and for you to just to fall apart. But there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger and get more resilient and get better.
Sooner or later, you're going to end up with just you and God and your pain, and you're going to be the one that's going to have to decide if you're going to go through or if you're going to give up.
How bad do you want what God has put in your heart? Bad enough to outlast the opposition? Bad enough to do the right thing when the wrong thing is happening? Do you want it bad enough to keep pursuing even when circumstances say it's not going to happen? Many of the difficulties we face, that's simply a test.
When you know what you want, and you want it badly enough, you will find ways to get it. The solutions, the answers, the methods will become evident to you. What drives us to find the answers is necessity. So work on your reasons first, answers second. Now, what are some of the reasons for doing well? I'm sure that if you did a little soul searching, you could come up with a fairly strong list of reasons why you want to accomplish great things. There are personal reasons, sometimes uniquely personal reasons. Some do well because of the way it makes them feel. Some people do well for the recognition. They love the feeling of being a winner. That's one of the best reasons. I have some millionaire friends who keep working 10 to 12 hours a day, making more millions. And it's not because they need the money. It's because of the joy, pleasure, and satisfaction that come to them from being constant winners. It's not the money, it's the journey.
I just want to tell you, don't let this chapter that you're going through make you in your story. Don't let depression lie to you and tell you that you're not enough, that tells you that there's no more better days, that tells you that your best days are behind you, that tells you you're a nobody. Don't let it lie to you, because it's been lying to you so long that you're starting to believe that's true. You're starting to live that out.
We have systems of survival built around what will not go away. If we could heal it, we would leave it. But since we can't heal it, we make it nice and comfortable and fix it up and say we like it. Nobody likes to be mugged. Nobody likes being broke. Nobody likes being lonely. Nobody likes negativity, but if you're not careful, you will build a system around something that you have lost the faith that it could change. And a lot of times, by the time people really get down to seeing who you really are, they run from you. What we really want is for somebody to love us for who we are. And what we really want is to have the kind of intimate relationship with them that allows us the freedom of not needing to camouflage who we are, what we think, how we speak, and how we understand. Without that freedom, we begin to be actors acting out a role in the house for which we eventually become weary of, and we break out of the role because we want to be free to be ourselves.
Yet what I'm learning more and more in life is that it's fear that causes anxiety. The other side of the coin from depression is always anxiety. Anxiety has this ability to stretch your soul thin and you feel out of control. Depression, on the other hand, is when you feel like your life is being constricted inward and darkness is enveloping over you. Typically, if you have any level of anxiety, depression will follow. If you have depression, anxiety is right around the corner. Having anxiety and depression is like being scared and tired at the same time. It's the fear of failure, but no urge to be productive. It's wanting to be alone, but not wanting to be lonely. It's wanting friends, but hate socializing. It's feeling everything at once, then feeling paralyzing numb.
It's not about doing the occasional big things. It's about doing the consistent small things.
It works if you work it. Decide that you're going to start working on that dream. Now, there will be people that will criticize you. There will be people that won't see it for you. I say to you, don't let them turn you around. Don't let nobody turn you around. That's key, because people will try and turn you around. That's real. Every hero you guys had was called an idiot, crazy, a loser. You must break society's status quo. Status quo is normality. It's alive but not living. It's death on a stick, guys. The belief of the individual can overcome thousands of followers. One person with a belief overrides thousands of people with just intent. You can actually change the direction of your life. Life is not designed where you just wake up and see how it go and you react. You actually have a say-so. You have a determining voice into where your life can go. See, life is 10% what happens to you. It's 90% what you do about it. See, you get tripped out because you got dirt on you, but you need dirt on you to develop, because dirt ain't just dirt. Dirt is fertilizer. Dirt gives you the flip for your seed to push through. See, you gotta have dirt on you to push through something.
Safety, comfort zones are dead zones because your true potential will never be matched, guys.
See, you get mad when haters come your way. You get mad because you get a setback. You get mad because you get a detour. That's just dirt. You get mad because they talking about you. That's dirt. You got to have dirt on you to grow into what God got for you. Quit tripping.
Be ready for tomorrow by doing all that you can today. Set a goal that will make you stretch, or what it will make of you to achieve it. What an all-encompassing challenge to have a better vision of the future, to see what it will make of you to achieve it. The greatest value in life is not what you get. The greatest value in life is what you become. It's not what you get that makes you valuable. It's what you become that makes you valuable. Set the kind of goals that will make something of you to achieve them. So there you have the two components of positive self-direction. Self-knowledge, knowing who you are and what you want to do with your life. And number two, self-preparation, getting ready for the opportunities before they come your way. Becoming the person you need to be in pursuit of what you want. I've already said that in my opinion you need a strong character to make money, and that if you haven't made money, your character very likely needs work. But I also want to stress my belief that it takes character to achieve success in any form, whether it's in the business world or anywhere else. There are some people who just aren't interested in making a lot of money. I'm not one of them, but I can see their point of view. For these people, achievement is measured in terms that aren't so easily quantified. You've probably come across many people who provide a very different kind of example. People who really let the air out of the balloon. This tends to happen more often as individuals move into middle age. You can recognize them on the street, moving at a snail's pace. They walk along with their head down. When I talk about developing character, these people don't know where to begin. As they see it, it's pretty hard to focus on character when you've got credit card payments to make and 100 other things to worry about. Well, here's my opinion. If these people had given a bit more thought to building a strong character over the years, maybe their credit card payments would be a little more manageable. According to Aristotle, 52 is the age at which a man's philosophy is fully formed. As long as you recognize it and do something about it. And you don't need volumes of books or the library in order to create a personal philosophy that will help you to achieve your goals. You can do that anywhere.
Life's just never done with you. Knowing that every day you get up, you have a choice. You get to choose if you're going to make the right decisions, or you get to choose if you're going to make the wrong ones. And every day you wake up, you get to take the test, and you get to see how you do. When you realize your game is bigger than just you, that's where the power's at, to lead. So be the best leader you can be for yourself and for the people that you care about.
That drive and that attitude of never quit, it's a powerful force, and it does push you over the edge to victory in many cases. But over that attitude, you have to layer something on top of that. Strategic vision and understanding of the battlefield as a whole. So you absolutely need to know when you got to stop beating your head against the wall. You've got to know that.
Discipline is defined as self-imposed standards for the sake of a higher goal. All leaders have to have the quality of self-discipline. You are not a leader if you are not self-disciplined. A leader doesn't need much discipline from the outside. They self-impose discipline on themselves. And that is what we call self-discipline.
Character is the means for transforming ideas into achievements. It's somewhat abstract in the sense that you can't lay your hand on it or weigh it on a scale or point to it, but in a very real sense, character is what allows you to get where you want to go. If you want to drive from your home to a store on the other side of town, you'll need an automobile with gas in the tank, and you'll need keys to start the car. You can't lay your hand on any of those things, and you can't measure them with a yardstick, but they're as important to reaching your destination as the car or the gas or the keys to start the engine. They are analogs of character.
Anxiety, it makes us feel out of control, and we're trying to put things in order. And so often the very thing that we're afraid of, it's not even as bad as fear itself. Fear is always false evidence appearing real. And when you abide in fear, you're going to always be running for your life. That's why we focus on our faith, because our faith always leads us to life, and life more abundantly.
There are ways of objectively evaluating your achievements. Most people don't take advantage of them as often as they should, but they're available nonetheless. For example, hire an appraiser in order to learn the market value of your house. You can put together a financial statement in order to determine your net worth. You can compare where you were 10 years ago to where you are now in order to determine the degree of progress you've made in your life. Achievement depends on character in the same way that a successful drive to the grocery store depends on knowing when to apply the brakes and when to step on the gas. But how can you know if your character is in good enough shape to get you where you want to go? To continue the metaphor we've been using, there are ways of discovering whether you still know how to drive without having an accident. I believe there are ways of evaluating the strength of your character that are almost as clear as the depth of tread on a tire or the amount of gasoline in the tank of an automobile. In order to use these techniques for character evaluation, all you need is a commitment to be ruthlessly honest with yourself. At first, that kind of ruthless honesty may include a little bit of pain, but once you accept the fact that character is basic to achievement, you'll gladly pay the price.
Because there are some things in your life that you are not ready to turn loose. There are some sins you're not ready to get rid of. There are some issues and some hang-ups that is stunting your spiritual growth. You can't be all God wants you to be with some stuff you're still hiding.
As you're working to break out of old behavior patterns, as you're struggling to achieve your goals and to overcome the obstacles that will inevitably befall you, I'm in favor of using any means necessary to make progress, as long as it's legal and ethical. If you want to motivate yourself with anger, and many people do this, I say go with whatever works. If you feel you've been wronged at various points in your career, and you look forward to gaining sweet revenge once you reach the top, I say whatever gets you going.
Tell me this. Have you ever slept hungry a night? I guess not. Because hunger doesn't let you sleep. Because the stomach craves food that you haven't taken, that you were supposed to take. In the same way, the hunger for success brings rage with you. You cannot sleep. Your dreams, your ideas, your concepts, your ideologies won't let you sleep unless you satisfy that hunger. And today, I want you to find that hunger yourself. I want you to find that drive that takes you out of your bed, gets the laziness out of you.
Not only is it possible for you to have your dream, but it's necessary that you work on it, that you develop yourself, that you go for what is yours in the universe. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. I'm not going to settle for this. I deserve more than this. I've got to do this. This is my stuff. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is why I showed up.
I would rather aim for the stars and not hit them than to not aim at all. I would rather go after it and not get it than not go after it at all. I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. I don't want to live with the idea, wonder what would have happened had I done more with my life. I'm going to go for it, come hell or high water. I'm going after my destiny. You got to run after your destiny. You can't stroll after your destiny. You can't walk after your destiny. You got to run. Somebody holler, run!
You got to find ways to increase your sense of self-appreciation, because if you don't, you're bombarded with negative stuff every day that beats you down. You will find yourself unconsciously engaged in self-destructive behavior. If you don't program yourself, life will program you.
The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A.
If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
You see what I'm saying? You want to be in a dominating point, okay? So what we got to do is we got to get you thinking. We got to get you thinking like the dominators think. How do they act? How does Warren Buffett act? What does Warren Buffett do with his time all the time? Those are the people I study today. I don't study the people that I went to school with, the teachers I went to school with. I don't even study my own family members. Okay? I'm looking for people that are way up here that I can say, hey, what are they doing? Because they're doing it right. So I look to surround myself with people that can dominate, people that are certain, okay? People that know what they're doing, people that are in control.
You know, if you don't surround yourself with other dreamers, here's what I know. If 9 of your friends are broke, you're going to be the 10th one. That's it. If 7 of your friends smoke, you're going to be number 8. If you stay with that circle of friends, you've got to surround yourself with like-minded people. See, stop telling your big dreams to small-minded people.
If you don't go home tonight tossing and turning, truly making a decision where you're tired and jacked up at the same time, then I'm not talking to you. Weird things happen to people when you make a decision.
My mom wanted me to be a truck driver because that would mean I'd make $24,000 a year if I went to Truck Masters, and that would be twice what my father made. And she thought that would happen, but something inside of me said, I don't want to drive a truck. There's something else that matters more to me, and I decided I was not going to go for money instead of passion. And the reward's been pretty amazingly better than being a truck driver. It's not bad being a truck driver, it's just not what I was after. And I look back, and one of the things that helped me was my original teacher, Jim Rohn, who's a personal development speaker. I went to hear when I was 17. He said something the first time I heard him, and he said, you know, it's really simple. If you want life to change, you got to change. If you want life to be better, you've got to get better. It's the only way it happens. And luck will show up for people and it'll leave them. But if you're constantly improving who you are and what you give, game over.
So look, if I can do this, you can do this, but it's going to be hard if you don't change your mind. You got to change. You got to change the way you think. And the way to change the way you think, ultimately there's 2 ways, okay? I mean, there's probably 3 or 4 ways, but first of all, the one way is to start disciplining yourself. Catch yourself every time you say, I don't have time, say, hey, I create time. Every time you say, I don't have money, I create money.
I put the third eye on Einstein's forehead because I respect him as a visionary and a person that can see what doesn't exist in most people's eyes. Most of you guys focus on all of the things that you can see. A visionary specializes. Only those who can see the invisible can do the impossible. Only those that can see the invisible. How do you see something that doesn't exist? You have to be a visionary. You have to be a person that can say, yo, I just seen something.
I'm talking about people that really want to figure out how to move themselves forward. And, you know, I find that so many of us think that our dreams are unreachable or unrealistic, and it's just so sad. I mean, people think that their dreams disappear. And if that's what you think, congratulations, you're officially stuck. And the truth is that our dreams are always there, and they don't ever give up on us. We give up on them. But here's the secret. If you just force yourself, and I mean force, because I know damn well none of you want to do anything about this, but if you just force yourself to take a couple small steps, there's always a surprise.
Everything I've ever done started with a fear.
That fear of having a dream and that fear of, oh, I can't dream that, I'll never be able to do that. Right. It was important to know that, yes, you can have that dream, but you have to know, honestly, what it's going to take for you to achieve that dream. And so then I came up with the quote, and it goes for everybody, all genders, all races. Don't be afraid to close your eyes and dream, but then you have to open your eyes and see the reality of what it's going to take for you to achieve that dream. And a lot of people, they kind of see, whether it's musicians or athletes or entertainers or even just successful people, but they don't understand the thing that it takes for them to get to the point that they've gotten. And that's why it's a very important quote to me, and I think it has inspired people, and it inspires me every day.
See, this is what people do. They set a target. Remember when you were a kid and you set targets that were big, giant, had nothing to do with reason? They were giant, right? And then you had some difficulty getting to it, and somebody said, what? Dude, your goals are unrealistic. You need to drop your goals down and add 40 years and end up with nothing. Certainly not congruent with your potential. How many believe you have more potential than you're going for right now? Dude, it's way up here. It's beyond what you're going for. So you want to set it here. I want to set my targets up here. I never lower a target. Never, ever. That's my target. I'll fail on my target. My whole lifetime I might fail on that target, but I won't let it go.
Success is something entirely subjective. Success is not about having lots of money, living in a big mansion, having an indigo suit. Absolutely not. That's part of it, but it's not the whole of it. You see, success is when you attribute value to things that matter to you. If you don't love what you do, it's going to be hard to continue. Do you know why so many people don't like their jobs? It's because there's no heart in it. They're just doing it to get the money at the end. You got to enjoy the process and then trust the process. And that's how to get a small vision off the ground, the come up.
I was very, very lucky to find it, when I was 7 or 8 years old. And fortunately, my children have found their passion. One son loves farming like nothing else. One son loves music like everything else. And all three of them love philanthropy and what they get to do. You're lucky in life when you find it. And you can't guarantee you're going to find it in your first job out. But I always tell college students that come out, I said, take the job that you would take if you were independently wealthy. You're going to do well at it.
Passion often is linked with purpose. What I love to do is often what I should do. We have been created within us the capacity to have things that we enjoy greatly, and a lot of times there is a definite relationship between what I am in love with and what I should be doing. We are created and wired in such a way that passion and purpose many times comes together. And passion is the great energizer. Once you have passion, you have energy.
If you got the energy and you go, I don't know where to start, throw a rock and where that drops, start there. Talk like the next person. Just take massive action and keep changing. If you want to speed up the result, you find someone who's already getting the result you want. They've lost 30 pounds. Do what they did. They have a relationship that's passionate 20 years later. Let's figure out what they're doing. That's the way that you do it. And then the third thing is if you really know what you want and you're obsessed by it, you got all this energy and drive and you're taking massive action, you're changing your approach, you're doing what works. The third thing we need is grace.
Whatever you move toward, if you move toward success, success seems to start coming your way. So, figure out what you could do to make the move, to begin the early qualifications and then sustain the qualifications, and success is yours and health is yours and all valuable things.
So the point is you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to do it the way everybody else has done it. You can do it your way. You can break the rules. You just can't get in the way of somebody else getting what they want.
I think you should quit chasing the paycheck and start chasing the passion. I think you should quit craving the approval of others and start defining what you are about. Even though those moments may feel challenging, like the moment is just too big, like you're not enough to handle it, that's not true. You are able to overcome that, but it's going to take effort.
And you can achieve anything that you want. That fear of what people think about you, worrying, what other people think, negativity, it won't matter. It won't be the main thing that holds you back. You will break through that and you can achieve anything you want.
I think you should quit negativity and start having gratitude for whatever stage of life you're currently in and whatever happens to you. I think you should quit caring about what other people think and start living your version of life. I think you should quit being a watered down version of someone else when you can be the full version of who you are.
The antidote to haters is confidence. And one of the ways we build confidence is surrounding ourselves with the right people and by having the right mentors who have already succeeded and can help us overcome negative people, mental health challenges, and any adversity that we face.
Failure is necessary to be able to improve. Failure is necessary to be able to excel. If you aren't willing to fail, you are not going to succeed.
If you love yourself, then you're going to get in the mirror and you're going to face the adversity, face the conflict, embrace rather than avoid challenges. And you don't give up on yourself. Do not give up on yourself. When you find yourself criticizing yourself negatively, comparing yourself to others, try to find inspiration in their successes and strengths instead of feeling threatened.
If you don't become obsessed with creating your ideal life, it will slip away. You will lose sight. You can't let that happen. You need to make your life a priority.
Even at your darkest time, you're destined for something greater. Let me say that again. Even at your darkest time, you're destined for something greater.
Confident people know that your imperfections are what actually allow you to be confident. They will be the determining factor in your ability to feel confident and your ability to have confidence be a part of your life.
It is self-compassion that gives us the power to face our failures, to face our fears, to face our insecurities, to face what we don't like about ourselves and come out on top.
The bottom line is the world is yours.
I don't think confidence is something that you are born with. It's a skill set. And I had no confidence. So confidence is something I taught myself over the years. I started becoming okay with who I am. I became the best version of me. And then I sort of said, I'm okay, I'm all right. Even if someone else thinks this, I'm okay. And everyone can do that. People just don't realize it. So it made me understand that confidence truly is the key to getting ahead in life. If you believe in yourself, the world will believe in you. Because perception is reality.
As soon as I started doing everything that I loved, there was a surge of power, a surge of confidence. I wasn't insecure anymore because the emotion that had the most dominance in my thought process was actually being paid attention to.
I'm really sick of being insecure. I believe I'm enough, and I believe that everything I have that I need for life to make all my dreams come true, I know it's already inside of me.
It's who you are and being comfortable with who you are that influences other people to say, oh, okay, maybe I could do that. You can't wait for Destiny. No one can be that. You can't be like, oh, Destiny's going to knock on my door one day. No, it won't. You have to be able to recognize opportunities. Because there'll be a lot of them that come into your life. And once you recognize an opportunity, you have to seize the day and work bloody hard because there'll be 25 other people who will want to do it.
The first step is belief, right? People think the belief comes once you've done it. You won't even take the first step if you don't believe that you can accomplish it. So we lead with belief as a species. So you have to find a way to believe in it to move. So your mom is giving you an awesome challenge. Can you believe in the face of her doubt, right? And to me, when people doubt me, it's a gift. I love that because I believe in beauty and rage. And you need both. I need people to love me. I need to want beautiful things for myself and for others. I want to create something amazing. I want to help a lot of people. I also want to prove a lot of people wrong who don't think that I can do this. I want to crush the enemies that want to see me fail, that want to do anything they can to ensure that I fail.
The reason if you fire everybody, you might be the problem is, and I have no idea, but like one of the theories or the things that I've seen is that it means that you're not willing to be accountable. When I fire somebody, earlier I said firing, that was my fault. I hired them. When we lose a client because of the head of strategy or creative or media, that's my fault. I empower them. Once you take on full accountability, life gets awesome. Once you realize everything is your fault and you're in control, you know why everybody's so upset? They think somebody has control over them. I don't give a shit who the mayor, who the governor, who the president is. I'm gonna live. It's real facts. And by the way, if you don't like it, move to Sweden. Like, you're in control. I think that's, my parents, and I'm not sure that's a Soviet thing. That was my parents, but I
believe it is. They just, all the emotions go out, and it's get the job done.
Yeah, dude. When you have context where like you had to stay in line for bread, there are people who complain every day and like just complain, but are buying $7 coffees at Starbucks. Like, do you know how soft you are when you buy $7 coffee? I went on one family vacation in my life growing up. I worked every day from 14 years old, every weekend, every single summer day. I have no entitlement. I built a $65 million business for my mom and dad and left at 34 years old with no money because I didn't pay myself anything while I was building it. So when these kids are talking about being sad and want to be somebody, I was 34 years old and built a $65 million business. I built it, right? And I left with nothing and started over at 34. Zero. I started VaynerMedia in the conference room of Buddy Media's company because I had no money to pay for our own rent. I lack entitlement. It's my strength. I took that from them.
Dwelling and pondering and crying doesn't do shit, and it especially doesn't do shit in this echo chamber. In this arena, there is no crying. You can cry. You're just going to lose. And I have bad news about complaining and crying. Let me tell you something about complaining and crying that's really, really going to hurt for all you complainers out there. Nobody gives a shit. And let me give you a preview who gives a shit. The following people give a shit when you complain. The other losers around you, your sick, broken parent that secretly wants to hold you down so that you're not more successful than them. And let me remind you one more time, the other fucking losers around you. We have to start deploying self-awareness. If you leave here and start your process of really knowing what makes you happy, of who are you really, if you could stop chipping away the voices from the outside, if you can start figuring out what you're scared of, if you want to actually do something, even in the light of the picture that I'm painting right now, who are you scared to fail in front of? The reason so many of you are not doing what you want to do is you're scared to fail in some.
You're scared that your brother will judge you, your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, and most scary, your mom or your dad. You need to eliminate that and/or own that fear and put yourself in a position to succeed. Because with all of this, we are now in the greatest era. For the first time ever, with no fucking money, with no goddamn connections, this can put you on the map. If you're good enough, if you are good enough to be up here, to make bling bling, if you are good enough, nobody's stopping you. Not fucking Donald Trump, not the fucking Russians, nobody.
If you're building a small life on what you have, what God has given you, you're made in the likeness and image of God, and you've been given authority and dominion over everything over the face of the earth. You can build a new life. You can fit a new life, an expanded life, in a small mind. You have something special. You have greatness in you. Visualize the life that you want to create. Make the commitment, make up your mind to make a radical change in your behavior, knowing you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Look at your relationships and ask the question, what kind of person am I becoming because of this relationship? What is it doing to me? Am I growing mentally and emotionally and spiritually and financially? What is this relationship doing to me? Am I a better person because of this relationship? Does this person hold me accountable to a higher standard? Do this person, what do they bring the best out of me?